About to disembark. My longest ride yet. I'm out here on Dorchester Avenue. The amount of traffic's already pretty obnoxious. But should be on the bike trails pretty soon. Well, made it through Dorchester to the Minuteman Bike Trail. So I'll ride this from Alewife Station in Cambridge all the way up to Bedford, I believe. But yeah, it should be a pretty pleasant ride. Just nice paved trails the whole way up. A few intersections, but beats riding alongside traffic, so should be on this for about the next 10 miles at least. Still cruising. It's pretty crazy how fast Boston drops off. Gorgeous morning though. A little bit wet, but it's alright. So I made it to Bedford. I'm at the end of this rail trail, the Minuteman Trail. So I've been going for about 15 miles now. Things holding up pretty good. It's a nice cool morning, so I'm enjoying this a lot, although I'm sweating quite a bit. Probably should slow it down a little bit. I think my pacing is feeling pretty good so far, so don't want to overdo it. So I don't actually know the way from here. So, actually, wow, okay. I've actually gone a lot further than I thought. "18 miles. Dang. But yeah, I don't actually know the way from here. So, I've been using this app, Ride with GPS. They've got some pretty awesome maps built in here. It's much better than Google Maps, so I was able to find some trails that I otherwise probably wouldn't have. But we'll let this take over, put some headphones in, get ready to ride. Slowly making moves on the Bruce Freeman Trail now. Nice and paved. I rode a little bit of gravel for a while. That was pretty nice, but considering I'm doing like 90 miles today, I'm happy to keep that somewhat limited. It's pretty exhausting, so. But sun's up now. Just enjoying this cool morning. So I'm in Lowell. This trail was marked on my app. Unclear if it's actually open or not. But we're gonna ride it. I'm going pretty solid now. Left at about probably 6:30. It's about 10:30 right now. About 50 miles in for the day. So, making good time. 145 miles left in the entire ride, so I guess I have a few extra miles added on from going from Dorchester to the start of the Minuteman Trail, which is where I initially planned to take off from. But yeah, so I'm taking like first legit break since the ride started. I'm just kind of out here somewhere near Lowell on the way to Lawrence. Just gorgeous riding back here. It's moving a little bit slow, but that's all right. I was making good time. on the roads, so it's nice to get away from traffic a little bit. Looks like I'm at a rope swing spot here, but just gonna stop and have a little bit of water, give my legs a break. Yeah, so far so good. I'm thinking I'll probably make it well before dark, and there's a nice little restaurant near the state park I'm staying at, so might grab a beer there before I head to the campground and make some dinner. I think my favorite part about bike packing thus far in my like 2 outings is that you just see some crazy shit that you never get to see from the highway. So it's kind of nice to take it slow when you travel. Really just take it all in. Fucking love it. Got a slight hiccup here. This has happened before, so hopefully I can do everything I need to. Yeah, this is fun. Alright, well, so I tightened it back on. Feels pretty good, but in theory this is a very easy fix. Because all we got is this, probably can't see it there, just like a little screw right here, or a nut, you just gotta twist it on. But unclear if the threads are kind of fucked up, because this seems to happen more often than it should. So probably need to replace the arms on these bad boys eventually. But until then, it's onward. Bad news, pedal's fully off. The thread of the bolt that keeps it in place is stripped. So luckily there's a bike store up here about 3 miles. Just gonna have to hoof it there. Close at 5, it's like 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna be cutting it close. Made it to a little bike shop. I believe it's called Ben's Ski and Sport, somewhere in the middle of New Hampshire. And luckily, the guys in the shop there were able to help me out. They had a spare bolt laying around that happened to perfectly fit the stripped bolt from my crank arm. So they helped me out free of charge. These 2 young guys, Danny and John, super cool. Definitely gonna head back there when it comes time to buy some more ski gear. So huge shout out to those guys. They got me back on the trail. Seems to be running better than ever before, honestly. So feeling pretty good at about 85 miles. So I think I've got maybe about 15 more before I get to the campground. And I am looking forward to dinner. Well, it's about 5, a little bit after 5 in the morning. I rolled in to the camp. Pretty crappy hour. It was well after dark. So now it's starting to rain. Got a terrible night's sleep, so I'm getting the fuck out of here. Might end up taking the commuter line home. We'll see. Feeling like shit. More on that later. Well, hanging out at the Newburyport commuter line station. I'm bailing out. So I think in total I did 113 miles yesterday and 30, a little more than 30 today. Basically I beelined it to this commuter line straight from Pawtuckaway State Park, because my body is just pretty messed up right now. It's hard to eat anything, very sore. I slept like total crap, and I'm pretty certain it's from all the caffeine that I had yesterday. Could be part of it. So I mistakenly bought some Cliff Bars that were caffeinated, and I had like 4 of those. And then I also had coffee midday, and I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine. So I just tossed and turned all night. I was sweaty from the ride. I need to figure out a better way to manage sweat, because I sweat a lot, or I sweated a lot yesterday, and that became a problem, especially with, I think, hydration and then just discomfort while sleeping. I did have some cleaning wipes that I could have used to dry myself off, but I don't know. My mind was pretty awry yesterday. I kind of forgot I even had those. But yeah, so I did eventually make it to the state park, which is good, but it was about 7:30. I think sunset was at about 6, so I was riding on highways for a solid hour and a half in the dark. I tried to take this one road shortcut, or back road shortcut, but it turned out to be a discontinued, like, carriage road or something crazy like that. So, but it was in like somebody's backyard, but it was on Google Maps, so it was weird. But the guy came out and I talked with him a little bit, and he's like, yeah, you have my permission to go back there, but it's gonna be a lot of bushwhacking, and that just wasn't something that I was willing to do. It was already dark at that point, so I just went back out on the highways and hooked back south. So probably added on another 5 or 6 miles to my intended distance there. But I don't know, I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm heading home right now, but the weather is pretty crappy. I don't know if you can really see. It's just overcast right now, but it's cold. It got rained on for pretty much the 30 miles from the state park here. And that added on top of all the physical discomfort I'm having is, I don't know. I think it's a good idea to just go home, especially considering I have to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna sleep for quite a while. But yeah, in looking back, I'd say yesterday was overall a success. By far the longest ride I've ever done. Probably like 40 miles, so very satisfied. Basically biked from before the sun rose to after the sun set, so we mix, add in a couple random hours for meals and breaks, but I bet I rode about 10 hours yesterday total. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back home and basically doing nothing all day. But I guess it's about 11 o'clock right now, maybe 10:30. But I don't know. These trains only run every 2 hours, so of course I've been sitting here a while. I also just happened to miss the 8:50 train. I saw it pulling away as I rolled in on my bike, so I just went and ate at a cafe for an hour, but couldn't really eat anything. I definitely have burned way more calories than I've consumed, which is part of the reason I'm concerned about my current physical state, but we'll see. I'm sure my body's just a little bit shocked by what I put it through yesterday. So I think the sweet spot for me in terms of ride length for one day is probably 60 miles. So that way I can kind of take my time, stop along the way, see the sights, which is my main motivation for getting into bikepacking at all, is just the travel aspect. I do like the physical aspect and that challenge, but it's definitely not the main reason. So Anyways, till next time.